Hey guys, it's PokeDude. Time for another fake grade order tips and trivia video. Today I'm going to talk about low rarity servants and how they can be a lot more useful than you might think, even in the late game. Unlike some other gacha games out there, gold servants don't completely outclass bronze and silver ones. What they lack in raw stats they can make up for in utility. This will not be an exhaustive list of how to use every 1 to 3 star servant, but a more general look at what some of the better ones can do. First up are Ashe and Chen Gong. Most players already know the deal with these two, but for the uninitiated, they have the strongest AoE Noble Phantasms in the game relative to their stats. Their damage output is actually on par with single target NPs. The catch is that Ashe dies when he uses his, and Chen Gong kills the leftmost party member, other than himself. Both of them can be used for farming teams when you want to quickly get a fresh servant on the field for the next wave. Chen Gong in particular has the secondary benefit of being a solid support unit, especially for berserkers. It's common to have another support like Waver use his skills on turn 1 and to use Chen Gong's NP to get him off the field in exchange for someone else who can buff your main attack or further on the following turn. Next is Amadeus. His first skill, as well as the second after a rank up that at the time of recording is only available in the Japanese version, already make him a pretty good support for art servants. But what really sets him apart is his third skill, which generates 50 crit stars at level 10. This guarantees that all of your attacks that turn will be crits. As you might imagine, that can be used for a lot of setups that rely on crit power. Continuing with support servants, we have Caligula and Asterios. At first glance, neither of them seem particularly good since their skills are focused on offense while their NPs don't do damage. However, those NPs can be incredibly powerful with the right team. Caligula's potentially inflicts skill seal and NP seal for 3 turns. This means the enemy not only won't be able to do anything but normal attacks, but also keeps their gauge from going up the whole time. And Asterios reduces the enemy's attack and defense for a whopping 6 turns. This is enough time to use his NP repeatedly and stack debuffs, which can give most bosses pretty hard. Another remarkably useful bronze support servant is Anderson. Put simply, he's a mini Merlin. While he can't grant the party invincibility, he covers most of the other things that you'd use Merlin for. If you want a demonstration of what he can do for your survivability, you can check out my video of the longest fight I've ever had in this game, which should appear in an info card on screen right here. And the last bronze servant I want to go over is Georgios. Thanks to his guts and 3-turn target focus skills, he's one of the best taunters in the game. Invaluable in many challenge quests where you need to keep your main attacker and supports alive for as long as possible. In fact, I'd actually recommend keeping 2 copies of him on hand. One at max level for extra survivability, and one at level 1 for when you simply need him to die on the first turn. In the case of the latter, you usually want him equipped with a craft essence that has an effect upon death, like Battle of Kamlan or 500-Year Obsession. Moving on to 3 stars, Robin Hood and Uriel have insane single target NPs under the right circumstances. The former when he poisons an enemy with his first skill, and the latter when the enemy is male. The bonus damage for meeting these conditions is so high that it's not uncommon for them to do over 1 million with the right support buffs. A recent addition to the list of surprisingly useful 3 stars is Boudicca. Her first skill can provide a massive 60% attack boost against Roman enemies for 3 turns. Now obviously Roman enemies aren't that common in the grand scheme of things, but Romulus Quirinus can make any enemy Roman, allowing that buff to be used in almost any battle. And the last servant we'll be looking at today is Paracelsus. This is one that I overlooked myself for a long time, but he is among the best art supports in the game, especially for farming. His second and third skills allow him to stack art effectiveness and NP gain for your main attacker, allowing them to charge a good chunk of their gauge simply by using their art's NP. And since he has his own 80% NP battery, he can team up with Waver to take out the first wave of an assassin or berserker based farming node, while saving your main damage dealer for waves 2 and 3. And that's about all I want to cover for this video. Keep in mind that there are several other low rarity servants that are worth using in the right situations, especially if you're willing to grail them. I encourage you to experiment and see which ones work for you. Thanks for watching. If there's a subject you'd like to see me cover, leave a comment and I'll consider it. And if you'd like to help support the channel, please check out my Patreon and Ko-fi pages in the video description. See you next time.